Welcome back to The Narrow Aperture, bringing you the stories you didn't know exist. In the age of digital media, we are consuming too much content. Whether it's Netflix, Prime, Disney or TikTok and Instagram Reels, there is a load of content at a finger's grasp. Did you ever think how it's impacting your life, shaping your behavior or affecting your mind? What you watch can have a significant impact on your behavior. This is because the media we consume, such as movies, TV shows, video games, and social media, can shape our attitudes, beliefs, and values. For example, if you watch violent or aggressive content, you may become desensitized to violence and more likely to exhibit aggressive behavior. Similarly, if you watch content that promotes unhealthy or unrealistic body standards, you may develop negative body image and engage in unhealthy behaviors, such as disordered eating or excessive exercise. On the other hand, if you watch content that promotes positive values and behaviors, such as kindness, empathy, and tolerance, you may become more likely to exhibit these behaviors in your own life. It's important to be aware of the media we consume and how it may be affecting us. By being mindful of what we watch and making conscious choices about our media consumption, we can better control how it impacts our behavior. There have been many studies on the link between violent media content and aggressive behavior, and while it's important to note that not everyone who watches violent media will exhibit violent behavior, here are some examples of how exposure to violent content can lead to aggressive behavior. Copycat violence. Exposure to violent behavior on TV or in movies has been linked to copycat or imitation violence. For example, after the release of the movie The Dark Knight, there were several real-life instances of violence that were reportedly inspired by the film. Increased aggression. Studies have shown that exposure to violent content can increase feelings of aggression and hostility in viewers. This may manifest in verbal or physical aggression towards others. Desensitization to violence. Exposure to violent content can also lead to desensitization to violence, making viewers less likely to perceive violent behavior as harmful or wrong. This can lead to an increased tolerance for violent behavior and a decreased likelihood of intervening when witnessing violent behavior. Imitation of violent behavior in video games. Playing violent video games has also been linked to increased aggressive behavior and even imitation of violent behavior seen in the game. It's important to note that not everyone who watches violent content will exhibit violent behavior, and other factors like genetics, upbringing, and environmental influences also play a role in shaping behavior. However, it's important to be mindful of the content we consume and the potential impact it can have on our behavior. There have been several instances where violent behavior has been linked to exposure to violent media content, including TV shows, movies, and video games. Here are some recent news articles about violent behavior and media. In 2019, 2 teenagers in Florida were arrested for allegedly planning a mass shooting at their high school. The teens reportedly told police that they were inspired by the video game Assassin's Creed. In 2022, a man in Canada was sentenced to life in prison for a mass shooting at a mosque in 2017. During his trial, it was revealed that the shooter had been heavily influenced by far-right extremist content on social media and had also been playing violent video games. Exposure to positive media content can have a beneficial impact on our behavior and well-being. Here are some examples of how watching positive content can lead to good behavior. Increased empathy. Watching content that portrays kindness, compassion, and empathy can increase our own levels of empathy towards others. This can lead to greater kindness, generosity, and pro-social behavior in our own lives. Inspiration for pro-social behavior. Watching characters on TV or in movies engage in pro-social behavior, such as volunteering or helping others, can inspire us to do the same in our own lives. Positive self-image. Watching positive media content can improve our self-image and self-esteem, leading to more positive behaviors and interactions with others. Learning positive values. Watching content that promotes positive values, such as honesty, integrity, and respect, can teach us to prioritize these values in our own lives and interactions with others. Yes, it's important to be mindful of what we watch and how we consume media, as it can have a significant impact on our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Here are some tips for being more mindful about media consumption. Be aware of the content you're consuming. Pay attention to the types of media you're consuming and how they're making you feel. If you notice that a particular type of content is making you feel anxious, angry, or upset, consider limiting your exposure to it. Limit your exposure to violent or graphic content. If you find that exposure to violent or graphic content is affecting your mood or behavior, consider limiting your exposure to it. This might mean avoiding certain TV shows, movies, or video games, or being more selective about the news articles you read. Seek out positive media content. Look for media content that promotes positive values, such as kindness, empathy, and tolerance. This might include TV shows, movies, or podcasts that highlight inspiring stories or feature positive role models. Talk to others about your media consumption. Discussing your media consumption habits with friends, family, or a mental health professional can help you gain a better understanding of how it's affecting you and identify areas where you might need to make changes. By being mindful of what we watch and how we consume media, we can better control how it impacts our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Do you have a story where media consumption was the cause of any incident or behavior? Please do write in comments. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this.